All right, fam. So this morning was the Xbox showcase, and at that showcase, they showed a lot of really cool stuff. And interestingly enough, they did the core showcase that they capstoned with Call of Duty for some reason, as if that was like a big, stunning announcement that there's going to be another Call of Duty. Shocker, everybody. But after that, they did a special showcase dedicated to The Outer Worlds 2, which is what they did previously for Call of Duty last year, and the year before they did a dedicated one for the first time for Starfield, and they gave it like a solid 40 minutes to be showcased. And they did the same thing this time around. And basically, like, as far as I can tell, the goal of those dedicated time slots for the showcasing is to basically just do the final pitch. It's trying to sell people on the game in the most comprehensive way. And it should work. I mean, you are talking about having 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever it is, to just deep dive on your game. You have a million viewers across every platform, or millions even. People are paying attention. Sell us on the game. Like, that's all you have to do. And I feel like, what they showed with Outer Worlds 2 was good. I mean, I don't think what I saw was bad per se. It looked good, but it didn't wow me. It didn't blow me away. I did not look at it and think this is the top that the industry has to offer. I felt like, much like other Obsidian games, it's a really solid game. It's in that like AA price point, typically in terms of like budget, similar to Avowed. Like, you're not playing Avowed to have a full quadruple A like RPG experience. You are more forgiving of clunkiness and lack of like animation quality, facial animations, visual fidelity, like combat complexity. You're willing to forgive a lot of that because it's a kind of AA game, right? But with this game, something interesting has come out. Right after the showcase, people went on Steam and they noticed something interesting, which is that the price was listed. They're charging $80, 80 for The Outer Worlds 2, which to me is just crazy. Like, I understand the industry is moving towards $80, okay? That's not lost on me. I get it. But that, as far as I'm aware, the argument has been that they were going to go 80 for like the top most premium games. Like, if GTA 6 is $80, I think we all kind of get it, If they choose to charge $80 for like The Last of Us Part 3 or God of War, whatever, Egypt, we'll all kind of be like, I get it. But The Outer Worlds 2, like, again, I'm not saying the work is bad. I'm not saying that Outer Worlds 2 is going to be bad. But I think that we are willing to put up with some of the other things that are maybe more lacking, like the lack of scope and scale, or the lack of really wild animation fidelity or graphical fidelity on the part of Outer Worlds 2. We're willing to put up with that because it's historically been of a lower price point. And we're willing to, like, okay, well, it's a AA game, so that's okay. But charging $80 for this is wild. And again, we need to not just keep in mind like American perspectives in the West, but also remember our friends down south, down under. Like, in Australia, this game is priced, I kid you not, at 120 Australian dollar dues. 120 bucks. Granted, that's not the same as American dollars. I, of course, understand that. But we're talking about like one of the most expensive games you can get, period, on the market. And they're charging $80 for it. And I don't think that Outer Worlds 2 looks bad. I just don't think it looks $80 worth. To also be fair, I didn't think Mario Kart, like whatever they called it, Mario Kart World, no, that was the other one. Is it World? I don't even know. I didn't buy it. I told you guys I wasn't going to buy a Switch 2 at launch, and I didn't. I was apparently one of the like 7 YouTubers on the planet that didn't buy a Switch 2. But it's because I told you I wouldn't, because I think the pricing was ridiculous and charging $80 for Mario Kart is insane. And I'm just shocked to see that they're going to go 80 for Outer Worlds. Even if they went 70, I would have been like, really? But like 50, 60, I think would be a really good price point for this. 80 is, in my opinion, having not played the game so far, too much. I just think it's too much. I understand that upsets Xbox. I understand maybe that makes it so they don't want to send me a review code. If that's the price of saying the obvious, so be it. But $80 for this is kind of ridiculous. But I mean, let's answer the elephant in the room, which is, the counter, which is just say, well, Luke, you just get it through Game Pass. Like, I don't have this problem. I play it through Game Pass. And I agree. That is far and away the most obvious solution to this problem. It's far and away the most clear-cut thing, which is Well, yeah, 80 bucks is a ridiculous price point. That's why Game Pass is such a good value. You pay 20 bucks for Ultimate or whatever it is in your region, and you can just play the game. And I agree, that's the best way to play The Outer Worlds 2 if you really want to play it. But again, does that excuse the $80 price point? Because all the $80 price point is designed to do is to get people to have this exact thought process, to pause and go, well, I wasn't subbed to Game Pass, but that price is so egregious, I'm going to sub to Game Pass. It makes Game Pass look even more viable and valuable because the price point that it's being anchored against looks so insane. It's the exact same technique that like Apple uses, where they'll try to, anchor the price point for the premium product way up here at like $1,200-1,300. And if you're a budget-minded consumer and you're like, I'm not going to spend $1,200 on a phone or $1,300 on a phone, you then go and swing down a level and you look at the stuff that seems more reasonable. It's still $1,000, which is a lot of money for a phone, but it feels more reasonable because it's not $1,300, right? Even though if the $1,300 one didn't exist, you would be anchoring off of $1,000 and then looking at the $800 one, but because they have a higher price point, because it started anchoring off of the $1,300 phone or $1,200 phone, it feels more reasonable. It's the same thing here. They price it at $80. They make that feel crazy. And some people will, of course, still buy it on PlayStation or on Steam or what have you. But a lot of people will scoff at that. And that's by design, because they want you to scoff at it and then go sign up for Game Pass. Because the whole premise of Game Pass is that you sign up for it and you forget to cancel it, or you choose not to because the library offering is comprehensive enough that it keeps you engaged. And after 4 months, they've gotten the same amount of money out of you as if you had bought the game to begin with. And you probably played other games in that time. Maybe you've even bought some cosmetics or an expansion or something here and there. Or maybe you were really excited for that upcoming single player game and you paid for the $35 deluxe upgrade so you could play it early with the early access and stuff. It's all, just about anchoring the price higher to get you to justify mentally going in for their other service that has recurrent revenue generation. And as a finance guy, I love this. I mean, I find it fascinating and expertly executed. I think it's done really well from a business perspective. But as a consumer, and ultimately my position on these YouTube channels and in these videos is to defend the consumer, because I can see like right through it. It doesn't take a genius. You can see right through all of this stuff. And what's crazy to me is how people are just so quickly hand waving away the $80 price point for this, because they're saying, well, yeah, but Game Pass is the better value, so whatever. In the same way, the same people did it, not that maybe the same exact people, but the same types of people did it with Mario Kart, where they go, yeah, it's 80 bucks, but if you buy the Switch bundle, it's basically 50 because it's $450 for the console. You can buy the bundle with Mario Kart for $500, so it's like you got it for 50. So it's actually a better deal. And that's not an excuse. Like, that doesn't change the price point, That's what drives me so crazy, is that it's just so simple-minded. Like, instead of considering 3, 4, 5 variables at the same time, we're whittling it down to 2, and we're like, me think good, me see that price point high, but other price point low, me feel happy about that. It's so stupid to me, but I guess it's working. I mean, I guess that's maybe the bigger takeaway, is it's working. I think, Xbox, frankly, should be called out for the $80 price point, because that's what a lot of people will end up paying, because some people don't like subscription models, and that's fine. I personally use the subscription models. I think Game Pass is a great value, but it doesn't change the fact that they're charging a lot of people $80 for a game that I just don't think is worth $80 from what I'm seeing. Again, if it were GTA 6 being charged for $80, I'd be like, yeah, it's $1 billion game. Like, over the course of its lifetime, it's going to cost approximately $2 billion based on some analyst estimates. I would get it in that case. We're talking about one of the most expensive game products ever put together. But in this case, like, the game doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look like 80 bucks. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And again, like, you're going to hear a lot of people hand waving it away or defending it because they want to keep other, I guess, fans, or they want to keep viewers, or they want to keep Xbox or whoever happy, and they're worried about rocking the boat. But like, come on, guys, $80. Like, what are we doing? It is crazy to me. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills with so much of this stuff. I'm like, what are we doing? It's so insane. But, a lot of people are going to just put up with it and hand wave it away and be like, well, yeah, it's probably bad for some people, but I've got Game Pass, so it's whatever. And it doesn't affect me, so who cares? And they move on. But it's just one more nail in the coffin that normalizes the $80 price point for everything. They were saying like a month ago with Mario Kart, yeah, well, $80 is a lot, but you know, it's only going to be for the top of the top premium of the premium games like GTA 6 or a Mario Kart, even though that's not aged that well, or like Resident Evil 9 or something like that. It's only going to be for the best of the best cream of the crop type games. But I mean, I don't think those same people would say that Outer Worlds 2 looks like that. Like again, it doesn't look bad, but it does not look like a quadruple A masterpiece. Like it just doesn't. I think we all know it's going to rate somewhere in probably the low to mid 80s on Metacritic, which is a good score. But does that justify the highest price point for any video game in recent memory? Personally, I don't think so. Okay, I just don't think so. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If I'm just, you know, yelling at windmills by myself. Let me know if I'm just freaking out for no reason. But I feel like I'm taking crazy pills that nobody seems that peeved about this except for, you know, I think, in my opinion, some pretty level-headed people on like X, and I've seen some people mention it. Even here in person in Los Angeles at Summer Games Fest, people being like, what? They're charging what for it? But I've also seen a lot of other people keeping their mouths shut because they're hoping to get, you know, a review unit of the Xbox ROG Ally X, whatever the crap they call it. I don't know, man. It just drives me crazy that we can't call a horse. We can't call this thing out that's insane and ridiculous, and we just have to like go along with it. But that's where we're at. I don't know. Let me know if I'm just riled up for no reason. I think this is silly, and I think we should make fun of Xbox for it because it seems insane. Even if Outer Worlds 2 is great, I don't see the $80 price point making sense. We were upset when Nintendo started this process, started normalizing it, and Xbox is already jumping on board. They warned us they were going to, and sure enough, here they are doing it. And this is just the first in many dominoes that will fall. And I'm sure in 6 months, it's just going to be the norm, and people will not be talking about it much anymore. But as for right now, we still have a chance of making it prohibitively problematic to price things at 80. If there's enough blowback, if people speak up enough, they'll change their mind and they'll walk it back, like plenty of companies have with other stuff. You know, we talked a lot about like Battlefront 2 and all the stuff that happened there where they got bullied out of having microtransactions. They literally disabled the in-game store for a prolonged period of time when that game launched because the blowback was loud enough that they actually paid attention. And if people spoke up, it would make a difference here too. The $80 price point would get walked back. But sure enough, I mean, as they predicted, everybody's just following in line, being like, okay, whatever, yeah. I'm going to root for the $3 trillion company like they're my friends. They don't care about you. I'm sorry. I hate to be the guy that says it. Like, they don't, okay? Like, they want your money. It's a gigantic corporate machine. They do not care about you or your fandom other than the fact that it gives them more money, okay? Again, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out, but I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because everybody else is like, oh yeah, well, it's whatever. I'm just, you know, whatever. It's crazy to me. But anyway, let me know what you think of this. I'm going to stop rambling because I'm getting riled up and it's late, so I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching. I love the gosh darn heck out of every single one of you. Thanks for making my dreams a reality. You're amazing. I'll be back home soon and we can stream again. I miss you. Until then, my friends, much love. Mwah. See you soon. Bye.
He took my thing.